Patrick Ta just released a $58 foundation, and I want to know, is it any good? Is it going to last on my skin? Is it going to wear away? Is it going to be too glowy? Is it going to do what I need it to do for $58? Hey y'all, it's Heather, and we are going to be testing out the new Patrick Ta Major Skin Foundation today. I bought mine from Sephora. I want to know, is this worth $58? We are going to do a 2-day wear test. You know, I feel like for this price point, for this foundation, it needs more than a 1-day wear test. I want to try it with 2 different primers. I want to make sure I really have a good feel for it. We're going to do check-ins, all of that. I'm going to show you how this wears throughout the day. I do, of course, have this on now, and I'm intrigued. Let me tell you the full name of this product because it's a long one. It is the Major Skin Hydra Luxe Luminous Skin Perfecting Foundation. These makeup brands love their long names. I bought mine at Sephora, and I bought the shade Golden Neutral. I do have a warm olive undertone, but looking at the shades, looking at the descriptions, the shade Golden Neutral did look like it was olive leaning, and I do feel like it is. I think it's giving me a good match. We can swatch it next to some of my other foundations later on so that you can kind of see the tone and all of that. This foundation says it is lightweight and luminous. It says it has skincare-like ingredients. It's supposed to like boost your hydration. It's supposed to blur imperfections, all the things that sound amazing. It says it has a medium coverage and that it is buildable, and it also says it's a radiant finish. And hi, I'm 36. I live in a hot, humid place, and my skin is oily. So I want to know, is this radiant finish foundation gonna last on me? Is it gonna make me look radiant and like I eat all my veggies, I drink all my water, I'm so healthy, I'm like this glowy goddess? Or is it gonna make me look sweaty, oily, like I need a shower? And I'm also curious, is this worth $58? Because that is a price point that is on par with like Hourglass, Givenchy. It's more expensive than the Dior or the Charlotte Tilbury foundation. So I want to know, is it worth it? Because that is a good amount of money to pay for a foundation. But if it's worth it, I will happily pay it. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I do have on the foundation now, but I want to show you me applying this. I want to show you with the brush, with the sponge, wear test, all of that. So let's jump to me makeup free. I've got you nice and zoomed in so that you can see my face before we go in with the foundation. As you can see, I do have some discoloration. I have a few little breakouts going on. I have a little bit of dryness right in here because I've been trying to get rid of that breakout. I do have very, very oily skin, and where I live, it is very hot and very humid right now, so we're really going to be able to put this foundation to the test. When I'm testing, trying, and reviewing a new foundation, I like to use products that I already know, love, and trust so that if something goes wrong, I can know if it's the new product I'm testing and not something else. You know, like I like to control what's going on in the review. I already have on my Milk Hydro Grip Primer. This is a primer that I've been using since it launched years ago. I've lost count of how many times I've used and repurchased this primer. It's a gripping primer. It's just really good at like prepping my skin. I didn't want to use like a blurring or mattifying primer or anything like that because I didn't want it to interfere with the claims of the foundation. Patrick Ta says to shake the foundation before you apply. So I'm going to shake it up first, and we'll go in on one half of my face just so we can kind of see the coverage level. This foundation does have a nice pump, so I'm just going to pump that right here on the back of my hand. I haven't used it yet, so here is our shade. That looks like it's going to be a good shade for me, so we will just apply it on this half of the face first. I'm hoping it's going to cover this breakout and some of this like texture and discoloration I have going on right now. So there we go. That is about half a pump of foundation, and we'll use a brush first, and on the other side we'll use a sponge, but I just want to see kind of side by side how this applies. So here is half a pump on one half of my face with a brush. I think this looks like a light coverage right now. I'm not really seeing a medium coverage, but it is buildable. So in a minute, we will try to build it up a bit. I just wanted to show you kind of this first application. I do think the shade is kind of lighter than my face, but that's okay. Like, it's going to all even out once I do bronzer and things. I think I'm definitely gonna have to build it because it's not giving me the coverage that I would like it to give me or that I was expecting it to give me. So I'm gonna use the other half of the pump, so half a pump with the sponge over here on this side. Okay, I've got a clean sponge, and I'm just gonna kind of pounce this in and see how this does. See if it grabs weird or if it gives me more coverage, anything like that. Here is what one pump of the foundation looks like. Over here I have the brush, over here I have the sponge. I don't think the way I applied it made much of a difference. I think it gave me light coverage kind of on both sides. I don't have any streaks with the brush, and I don't feel like the sponge just took away any coverage. I think it looks very light coverage. So I'm gonna go in with another pump and see if I can build this up a little bit. So over here I did add a bit more and tried to build it up. I do feel like it built up some. I feel like this is a pretty good even coverage. It is a very, very glowy foundation. Like, it is a radiant finish in the claims, and I am seeing a radiant finish. I'm going to build up this half of my face so that we're even. And then what I'm gonna do is let the foundation have a little time to kind of dry down so you can see it that way. I have oily skin. Like I said, it's humid here. I'm always gonna set my face with a powder. I will never wear a foundation without a powder, and I'm not gonna start today. So I'm gonna let the foundation dry down. I'll give it about 15 minutes and I'll let you see before I go in with anything else. I am gonna fill in my brows. It's been 15 minutes. This foundation is still extremely radiant. It feels like it is not set down, which I kind of expected with the description of this foundation having serum-like ingredients, radiant finish, all of that, like hydrating. So I'm not surprised, but I did want to give it a chance to see. Here's what the makeup is looking like after about 2 hours of wear. I think it's looking nice. It does look radiant. Even though I set with powder, I can still see that radiant glow coming through. Everything is looking super nice and pretty so far. Here's the foundation in the sunlight. I've had it on about 5-6 hours. I think it's still looking really nice. I mean, I'm definitely glowy, but I think it's a nice glow. Like, it doesn't bother me too much. I could blot, but I still think it looks really good. All right, y'all, it is the end of the day. I'm ready to take this makeup off. I zoomed y'all in uncomfortably close so that you could see. I'm definitely oily right now. It's pretty late, trying to get my teenager to go to bed. And it's like, yeah, I've got a light on so that y'all could see this oil, but it's honestly not as oily. Like, the oil is not sitting on top of my skin as much as I expected. I did not touch up today. Like, I didn't touch up any powder or any blotting or anything. Maybe we could do that tomorrow, but I'm so tired and I'm ready to wash my face. But I am kind of pleasantly surprised. I mean, I'm oily. If I were gonna leave my house right now, I would blot, I would put on a little powder to fix this, but it's not broken apart. I'm sure you could see when I zoomed y'all in super close. But tomorrow, we'll try it again and we'll use a mattifying primer and see if that helps. Here are some shade comparisons with the new Patrick Ta to some of my other foundations. Hopefully this will be helpful if you're trying to pick a shade. Good morning. We are starting off our second day of our wear test. I woke up super early to do my makeup so that I could get this video up to y'all. I want to do 10 hours of wear today so that you can see how the foundation lasts on me. And today is going to be a much busier day than yesterday was. Yesterday I was mostly around the house, but today I have to get out, and about. I have a lot of things to do, so the foundation will be tested under different conditions. You know, we're gonna be outside a lot more today. I did use a mattifying primer. Let me find it. I'm using my Oil Sucker Extreme Mattifying Alkaline Primer from One Size. If you are oily, this is the one, y'all. This is the one. So I thought I would test this with the Patrick Ta today and see how this holds up if I get a little less shiny, because yesterday the foundation held up well. Even though my oil came through, it didn't break apart, which is very important. And I let the oil sit on my skin so that y'all could see it completely. But today I will blot if I need to, and we can do that together. But let me get you up close so that you can see how this foundation's on my skin. My foundation has been on for about 15 minutes. I wanted to give it time to dry down just like I did yesterday, and it's very radiant and glowy, as you can see. I'm gonna finish up the rest of my makeup and I will come back to check in a few hours. Here is gonna be our 2-hour check-in. I actually let the foundation sit on my face, unset, no concealer, not really doing anything else for about an hour. I just wanted to see if it would dry down anymore. It really did not. So I went ahead and put the rest of my makeup on, had some breakfast, and now we're at about the 2-hour mark. So I wanted to let you see. I do, of course, have on my concealer, my powder. I will have that listed in the description box. I'm using my Natasha Denona and my Huda Beauty powder along with the NYX powder for yesterday and today. And today I'm wearing my Fenty bronzer, same as yesterday, but I did swap out the blush. I'm wearing a Sigma blush and I'm wearing my Unearthly Resurgence highlighter collab. I'm wearing both shades mixed. It's so pretty. It makes me so happy. I definitely think this foundation is looking really nice. I am gonna do an eye look today, but I'm waiting on something to come in. So as soon as UPS brings it to me, I'm gonna be applying it, and that will be tomorrow's video. So make sure you subscribe and stick around. What do y'all think? I think it's looking really nice. We're at about the 8-hour mark. Here is what my foundation's looking like. I think it still looks great. I haven't blotted, I haven't touched up. I'm definitely radiant, as Patrick Ta calls it. Okay, y'all, let's talk about this foundation. This is the Patrick Ta Major Skin Hydra Luxe Luminous Skin Perfecting Foundation, $58 US. I've worn it for 2 days now, and I do have some thoughts. I am looking oily, okay? I am looking oily even with the mattifying primer. I do feel like maybe a little less oily as the day went on. I think it took me a little longer to get this oily than it did yesterday since I used the mattifying primer. Overall, I look oily. What I will say though is the oil is coming through, but it's not breaking apart the makeup. That is something I cannot stand. So I'm pleasantly surprised that this foundation did not break apart on me. I was hoping it wouldn't. I mean, for a $58 price point, like, you would hope that the foundation would not just like break apart under oil, but you really never know. So is this gonna be a go-to foundation for me all day wear? No. I mean, I'm a little too oily than how I would like to look, and I decided not to blot today because when testing a foundation, I just wanted to let it be. I definitely think I could have blotted and touched up with powder and it would have been much better, and I can definitely do that. But I know working 12-hour shifts at the hospital, I would go in and sometimes I would not look at myself until I got off work, and then you're like, oh, how was I looking all night? And I wanted to do that and just see, like, if I didn't touch it, like, can you put it on and forget about it? Because honestly, every day I don't blot and touch up my makeup. Like, I don't think about it. I get ready in the morning and then I don't think about it the rest of the day. I don't want to have to be fussing over it. I don't mind putting on a lip balm or a lipstick or something, but I don't want to have to like babysit products. And that's why I'm so happy that this did not break apart, because yes, I look oily, but like, I was just out, I was just around people, and I don't care. I'm 36 years old. I have oily skin. I know I have oily skin. I've had oily skin my whole life. So I don't care if I look a little oily. I don't want my makeup to break apart. I don't want it to look patchy and be grabbing weird and all of that. And I don't want to look like I like rubbed my face in a bottle of like vegetable oil or something. For my natural oil to come through, it doesn't bother me that much, but I do prefer my mattifying foundations, my Lumi Mattes, my natural skin finish foundations. Like, those are probably, you know, the ones that I'm gonna stick to. I will continue to use this. I'll probably use this more for days where I'm like, I don't need all day wear out of my makeup. I think this looks great for a while, but for 12 hours of wear, I am a little too like, I'm a little too shiny for what I personally prefer and with the selection I have. But I do think this is nice. I mean, it doesn't claim that it's gonna keep me mattified all day. It says it's a radiant finish foundation. So I expected my oils to come through. What I really wanted to know is it gonna last? Like, is it still going to last on me? And it did. So I really can't complain about that. I hope you liked this video. I love reviewing new makeup, and we are in the time of year now where everybody is releasing new products, and I'm so excited. I absolutely love fall makeup, and I'm excited to see what's going to be released this season. So make sure you stick around and subscribe. Check out some of my other videos because I talk about makeup constantly. I have so much makeup. I love makeup. So let me know, are you interested in this foundation down in the comments?